Ancient and adaptive, the Technocyte infestation is one of the deadliest and most unpredictable forces present in the Origin system. Though it seems to be a force of chaos and destruction, its true motives are uncertain, as it displays qualities unbecoming of a mindless swarm, showing deliberate intention with its movements, indicating that a dark mind exists behind the mindless swarm. This is the Technocyte infestation. The Technocyte infestation does not infect its victims like typical diseases, but infuses itself within the body of the afflicted and grows, much like a plant, throughout the system of the afflicted until it has taken significant purchase and can control the body's motor functions. Once it has reached this point, it then twists and disfigures the body of the afflicted, splintering bone and flesh and mixing bodily chemicals into volatile mixtures within the subject's body to transform the victim into a tool of the hive mind, with a form befitting its desired purpose. It is possible that there are many victims who are simply used as seedbeds for the infestation rather than drones, with their rotting flesh serving as the perfect platform for infantile technocyte to sprout forth from until it reaches a more realized state. These seedbeds may also serve as raw material for cruel imitations of previous victims to be weaved from the raw growth. Once the infestation has devised a suitable form for use, it may remember this form and fashion copies or slightly altered versions at will, should the need arise. Additionally, the infestation is shown to be quite capable of sprouting from any surface it desires, including rock and metal, and growing from small, undulating pods into massive trunks of spiraling technocyte. What the technocyte uses as food or energy sources is uncertain, and could be either scraps of genetic material left behind by soldiers, or raw metal structure as ample satiation for these base-level forms. Exactly how long it takes for technocyte to grow is also a mystery. It seems to alternate on a case-by-case basis, with Alid V taking a great deal of time to display major physical side effects, but with other cases such as the Lore Stontella forced to address the infestation within seconds, lest they become overtaken. The infestation may not warrant a blissful escape once the body has been overtaken. It is quite possible the infestation merely takes control of all bodily functions, but leaves the brain largely intact, forcing the afflicted to endure a nightmarish reality until they are destroyed by some outside force. This may be why Alid V has been able to maintain a semblance of his personality even though he has been infested, though there is another possibility I will discuss later. All it takes for the infestation to take root is a single spore. As we learn in the Once Awake quest, great measures are required to ensure that the technocyte does not endure through eradication attempts. This may be why we see sparse patches of infestation across outposts, as complete eradication is nearly impossible, and instead, soldiers and maintenance workers must be vigilant in ensuring that no patch of infestation sprouts grows to an uncontrollable level, lest they be forced to forsake the entire ship. Initially, the infestation was only able to take hold of organic material in a major capacity, forced to exist only as pods until it could find a host. However, due to the actions of Alid V, the infestation is now able to twist and control artificial intelligence and inorganic material to its will. This may demonstrate the infestation's terrifying ability to learn outside of just drone creation, as it seems to be able to rend the mind of inorganic beings as seen with the fear Jordis demonstrates moments before he is taken by the Hive. This ability to assimilate metal may not be a unique invention by Alid, but merely a latent ability that was awakened through his experimentation. The infestation was thought to have been eradicated, and when Tengus's research brought a resurgence of the ancient threat to the system, his strain may have been imperfect and lacked the ability to assimilate metal. Additionally, old strains of technocyte may merely warp metal through physical processes and not actually entwine with it in the same capacity as the mutilus strain. This may explain why ancient infestation seems much more natural and plant-like, while the mutilus strain is comparably smooth and synthetic in appearance. Though it possesses the ability to morph inorganic material to its will, the technocyte itself is still largely organic, though it likely falls into a category somewhere between. When we destroy the Hive in the Once Awake quest, we use a cascade bomb, which is designed to trigger void energies in a cataclysmic reaction that eradicates organic material, but leaves inorganic material behind, indicating that the infestation is still largely organic. As an aside, it may be possible that these cascade bombs were used to cleanse the Orokin tower vessels during the Great Plague, and those in power among the Orokin may have been more than willing to cleanse the ships to restore their purity, even if the commoners on board were eradicated. Additionally, the raw void energies themselves may have had this effect due to imperfect transit or some other phenomenon, hence why the halls are so quiet and absent of life, save for the shattered white husks of the bizarre crystalline trees. Going back to the origins of the Technocyte, it clearly originates from before the last traces of the Orokin Empire died out. It is possible the Technocyte was created as a potential weapon to utilize against the sentient in the Old War, as a hive mind weapon with no head to cut off would be a perfect tool against the sentient. However, it may have proven to be ineffective, or not utilized in favor of the tenno. But at some point after the Old War came the Great Plague, a massive-scale infestation of Technocyte that pushed Tenno and Orokin to the brink of destruction. What the final solution to eradicate the infestation was is unclear. Most likely widespread applications of cascade bomb technology. It is likely the cause of the system's ravaged nature as we see today. The Great Plague may have arisen due to the Orokin not properly addressing the Technocyte or ignoring it as an unimportant threat until it was far too late. Additionally, the Orokin may not have been prepared for the hive mind capabilities the Technocyte displays, instead believing it to be a simple bioweapon. As stated earlier, the Technocyte seems intelligent, choosing the proper tools for specific tasks, and becoming as lethal or non-lethal as it needs to be. This brings up the question of how far the hive mind spreads. Does every individual spore serve as a point of reference for the hive, or are there specific amount of spores required, or even specific growths needed for the hive to assert authority and dominion? Regardless, it is clearly capable of acting intelligently, and this fact may have dark implications regarding the allegiances of Alad V. Perhaps Alad V is indeed seeking redemption, and was able to hold off the infestation until he could be saved. However, it is also possible it is a clever trick by the Hive to fool us into acting on its behalf, or allowing Alad V to remain sentient so that he can fulfill some unknown purpose. These answers may in time reveal themselves, and even possibly from the Hive itself. The infestation has shown it is able to communicate with us on some level, though if the harsh guttural shrieks are directly translatable is unclear, and it is possible that it is somehow able to resonate directly with us through some deeper connection. Because one of the most debatable aspects of the Technocyte is its ties with the Tenno. Many who believe that Dark Sector serves as a significant force in impacting Warframe's lore will say that the suits of the Tenno are formed from some kind of inert Technocyte. This could be supported by the cries of the infested bosses we face claiming that we are their flesh, and the inert Technocyte theory could be supported by the corrupted ancients existing in the tower as inert forms that the Neural Sentry can directly control. Another theory is that the Technocyte was used to repair the twisted and damaged Tenno, or at least their Warframes, and use the Technocyte as a sort of biological building material that could be shaped and formed as needed, with the Technocyte eventually developing sentience and spiraling out of control, a fact that could possibly be supported by the Rhino Codex entry. And of course, another much more simpler theory is that the line, "We are your flesh," could indicate that the powerful infested bosses we fight may have Tenno victims within their mass, and are communicating with us by exploiting the telepathic links that Tenno seem to share. But as with many things in the Warframe universe, these are mostly uncertain, and are definitely not the only interpretations, but until the time comes when we have all the facts, this is what we know.